So the accusations that they can go off and manipulate the ballot, change the ballot image, change all the records is something that they already admitted to 3 years ago. That they can do that the system is actually designed to allow them to be able to do that. But it's only their word that, we would never do that we have as a safeguard. And remember, this was 2017. That was just as Trump's first year in office, actually. And so we got that going on. So everything that's being alleged has already been admitted that, yes, the system can do that. It's designed to be able to allow them to do that. They're just on the honor system. Now, when you take that with they're having phone calls with members of Antifa, they're connected to all these left-wing mega donors, George Soros, Clinton Foundation. The system was originally developed and designed to rig the elections in Venezuela. You're starting to see where all of this is starting to go. We're just getting that drip, 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 and then the dam's going to break. And the dam's going to break soon. And that's why I think that Trump is inviting up members of the state legislature saying, hey, you know what? I know you're coming up on a deadline on whether or not to certify the votes. Okay? I think there's something that you need to see before that happens, because I'm not sure we're going to get in front of the judge in time, because we're still putting on, crossing our T's and dotting our I's at this moment. Now, when that happens, when they actually do go to DC, sit down with the president, and they get a classified briefing on all of the evidence, we're going to know whether or not Trump actually has the goods. Because if they go to the White House, have that briefing, come back to the states, and then all of a sudden, no, we're not certifying. We're not certifying. Ooh. All of a sudden, the media's going to see the earthquake, and they're going to try and drums up some stuff, and we're going to start seeing the left melting down, going, wait. You told us this was a done deal. You told us there was no question into this. Why are they not certifying the vote? And the entertainment's going to start. I mean, we're still passing around memes from Trump's first inauguration. No! Right? We're still passing that around. That's still entertainment value. And we're going to start seeing that. And no, I still haven't shown you the best clip. Right? The one that is really starting to make some waves here, and the media is not paying attention to it because they've written off these networks, OAN and Newsmax, who are now starting to see that this is their moment to shine and are trying their damnedest to engage in the best possible journalism. The thing that these big corporate cable news networks have abandoned because they didn't think that there was any more people out there for competition and that the current rating war was just between those who are already established. Well, the Newsmax, OAN, and a few other networks see this as their moment to shine, and they're going for it. They're reporting heavily on this. And I've noticed quite a bit of an increase in my own website, just writing up a few articles about this. Boom! It's like, holy crap. People are actually desperate for information. They are still paying attention. Okay, so I know I've teased this up. So let's go ahead and put one more clip out there that I think after you hear this, you're going to realize what I've laid out here. You're going to realize why Trump is bringing these state legislatures to the White House. At least according to the New York Times, he's invited them to the White House. And why after that they come back, the landscape is going to start shifting fast. And the meltdown entertainment is going to begin. And it's their own fault. They refuse to live in reality. We just enjoy the entertainment when reality comes smacking them upside the head. So here's clip number 3. And this one is delicious.
Yeah, Sean, and that's just one of many examples that were found throughout all of these so-called swing states that were close in the election count. But, Amanda nailed it just now, outlining the irregularities and potential fraud we've seen done manually by human beings. But now that we have seized the servers for Dominion that were over in Germany, and we're starting to get some raw data off of that, I know you guys have a huge audience now, Sean. Congratulations for that. But I want everybody to listen to me. The things that are going to come out are going to shake the globalists to their very core.
Wait a minute. Did you catch that? So there's been this talk about the raid in Germany and whether or not it was connected to this, connected to something else. Was it us that got it? Was it them? And there's been a little playing coy. First they said, oh, no, maybe it wasn't, for this matter. Maybe it was just for law enforcement files. Right? So there was a little bit of a misdirect. And then Sidney Powell started coming out and saying, well, yeah, there was a raid on the servers in Germany. But she was unable to confirm at first whether it was related to elections. Then she started shifting a little bit more. Yes, there was a raid, and yes, it was connected to the election. We just don't know who got it, us or the bad guys. This guy right here, his statement seemed to be pretty clear. We got the servers. The raw data that we are getting off these servers are going to shake the globalists to the cores. You catch that? They got the servers. They've already started looking at the data, and the data is pretty damning. And now Trump is inviting the state legislatures up to the White House for a conversation about whether or not they should be certifying that vote. So, now, I could be reading too much into this. Yes, of course. There could be a huge just bluff going on. We can't discount that. But, given the lawyers that are involved, some pretty high-profile lawyers with some pretty serious careers, even Giuliani is no joke. I mean, you can say what you want about how he tries to display himself publicly, and I think there's a little bit of a misdirect to throw the media off, putting Giuliani up front, putting Giuliani in the lead, where they'll start off with the press conference, put Giuliani up there, he'll go ranting and raving, the media will cut out, and then they put on Sidney Powell and the other lawyers. So there's kind of this whole, we got this meeting where we want to inform our base, but maybe we can figure out a way to discourage the rest of the media from tuning in, so to speak, or to make it look like, they're crazy in their allegations, but are letting a few things leak to let those who committed the crime know you're caught. Who's the first to come for a plea deal? Right? So you see this. A witness based off of how he said it, Giuliani. A witness to the planning of the rigging of the election. We have that the Dominion executives have already admitted in 2017 that everything that they're being accused of are things that their system can actually do and allows them to do by design. And now we have statements that they have the server. Okay, so you got that. And now the state legislatures are going to meet Trump. Sit back. I'm telling you, this is going to be entertaining. This is going to be a wild ride. Now, as entertaining as it is, you might also want to board up your windows and make sure you have plenty of, guns and ammo to be able to defend yourself, because the left, when they have a meltdown, it's going to be fire and brimstone. They're going to come marching around all over the place, burning everything down that they can think of. But there's also this whole Trump knows how they're going to react. And so it's not just mobilizing law enforcement to be able to go in and do a raid in all these different locations to arrest the guilty party, but he's also going to have to figure out how to mobilize security around the country to shut down the left from trying to riot. Right? So there's a lot of things that are going on. Putting together a case that would take years in the making in a short period of time. And that means, no, that's probably why the raid probably happened. It got done a lot quicker than normal. And that may be why there's been some shifts in certain intelligence agencies and certain departments of the government, to get that raid done and get it done quickly. As far as Germany's concerned, it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission. You know what I mean? And so you go through, you take a look at that, putting the case together. Now that they have the servers, they're going through, taking a look and analyzing the data, mobilizing, for raids and arrests, which means they also need to get arrest warrants, and then to also get everybody in place to be able to shut down the extreme left, who are just going to have complete and total meltdowns once they realize that they failed. Their coup failed, and President Trump will be inaugurated for his second term. All right, so don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Now, this is my usual cover art, but for right now, I changed it where it has Joe Biden on the front with a big "Do Not Enter" sign on it, and it says "Stop the Steal" with the flag upside down to indicate we are a country in distress. And, well, the left is already turning on Joe Biden because he's already, I guess the best way to say it is he's already given the progressives far left the big two-barrel middle finger as he's refilling his the government with a bunch of swamp rats, or is indicating that he's going to refill the government with swamp rats. Not that he's actually going to get into office when all this is said and done, but he's talking oil executives, all the people that the left hates, he's filling his cabinet with. So maybe they're thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe we don't like Joe Biden. Maybe, we'll agree to, stand down on our coup. Who knows? All right. So subscribe to the audio podcast. I do that. Well, recently I've been doing that daily. So if you don't want to miss anything that's developing and you want to get my full thoughts, subscribe to the podcast. All right. Thank you so much, and I will be back.